Bol.
Can I start? Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Premanandi. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravajaka Ashtotra Sadashi Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Chila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravajaka Ashtotra Sadashi Srimati Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Chila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Radhashtami Ki Jai Prem Chakaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Radhashtami Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai The Gaur Hari Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. So, I thank the Stoffel ISKCON to give me a chance to speak something about Srimati Radharani. Actually, this is a very, very esoteric topic. I'm not the right person or the qualified person to speak about Srimati Radharani. In fact, Prabhuji had called me in month of, I think, February or something, and he said that you should take a class for Gaur Purnima. And somehow the other, I said, yes, I'll be able to come. Then I found that I was on call the other day. And then he said, you should definitely come for Radhashtami. And since I said no for the first time, I didn't feel the heart to say I cannot speak. It doesn't look nice. So I accepted it. Actually, to speak about Radharani is very, 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 very esoteric subject matter. And only a person who's very qualified can speak. But since it is the wish of all of you devotees, and as a service to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, and for my own purification, to speak about Srimati Radharani is so wonderful. It will purify me. And actually it purified me. And how? Because I was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. After I didn't read it for a long time. And the 4th chapter, the internal reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world, it is so wonderfully explained. And then I read about the Sikshastakam prayers and so many things. It really made my mind purified. So with a purified mind, I hope I can satisfy all of you and please you. And I want all of your prayers and blessings that the next few minutes or half an hour is going to be productive, both for your spiritual life and for the glorification of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna.
Decision of Paramatma, Prabhu.
Huh?
We can't help it. There's a decision of Paramatma. He wanted you to be here.
Hare Krishna. Ultimately, we are not the doers at all.
Yes.
And somehow or the other, thank you so much. And by the way, next week again I'm going to speak on Radhashtami with the Bengali group. So somehow Radharani is having a special mercy on me. So actually Radhashtami was celebrated 11th of this month, and we are celebrating on 15th. We say it is the most auspicious day is Srimati Radharani's appearance, right? But when Gaur Purnima is there, we hear everybody say this is the most auspicious day, right? And then when Nityananda Prabhu's Trayodashi, we say this is the most auspicious, right?
Yes.
So when we say Radhashtami is the most auspicious and Gaur Purnima is most auspicious, Nityananda Prabhu is also most auspicious, Balram Jayanti also is most auspicious, can everything be most auspicious? Auspicious, more auspicious, most auspicious. So the thing is, once Radhanath Swami Maharaj had taken a yatra to Kurukshetra, and there he talked about Bhagavad Gita and all sorts of things for 1 hour, and then he said this is the most holiest of all the holy places, which is Kurukshetra. Then one devotee asked him, Maharaj, in Mayapur also you said this is the holiest of all holy places. Then in Vrindavan you said this is the holiest of all holy places. So how do we understand which is the most holy of all the holy places? Like which is the most auspicious day? So Maharaj said, we are in Kurukshetra, so this is the most holy place. We are devotees are supposed to be in the present. Past is history. Future is a mystery. And the present is the secret to victory. And that's why it's called as present. Why? Because it's a gift of God. So he said, let's live in the present for us. And today, 15th is not also Radhashtami, but we are celebrating. So is this the most auspicious day? It is also the most auspicious day. And also it is Vamana Jayanti today. Actually, Vamana Jayanti is pastime also is wonderful, but Radhashtami, since you all have said about Radhashtami, we should speak, glorify. Also on Radhashtami day, Vishaka and Champakalata, you heard of these two people? They are the 8 Ashtasakis. One of them is Lalita, Vishaka, and one of them is Champakalata. There are 8 gopis. So, it's a very wonderful thing to speak about Srimati Radharani. It's a very, very esoteric topic. We have 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. What are they? Anybody can tell me? Which is what we are in? And Sri Sampradaya or Lakshmi Sampradaya. In every Sampradaya, even in Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, Radharani was not so very, known. Except when Madhavendra Puri appeared, who is the spiritual master of Ishwara Puri, who happens to be the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So somehow it is a very, very wonderful Sampradaya to be in Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has appeared and taken this, he is from the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had made the whole esoteric topic of Radharani very much understandable to all of us. So when I'll tell you in short about what exactly is Radharani's tattva. Krishna, when he was in Dwapar Yuga, when he appeared, whenever he used to go to Rukmini, she used to start crying. He said, why are you crying? He said, soon you are going to leave us and go. So in the anticipated losing the association of Krishna, she said, I started crying. We can also relate to this in our material world. When the girl is engaged and she's going to be getting married, the mother starts crying on that day. Why? She's there very much for another 6 months. She's going to be there with the mother. But why she cries? She's thinking after marriage she will leave me and go. Yeah, I think the lights are too much. Thank you. It's okay. That's fine. No problem.
It's not okay. It's not okay. He's looking up straight.
Yeah, it is coming directly on me. Yeah. That's fine. No, it's okay. That's fine. Thank you.
You're fine. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. Then Rukmini said, but why are you crying? He said, you will not understand. What is this Vipralamba Seva? You will not understand unless you take the mood of all of us. And he finds even Radharani in ecstasy. He sees that she's more happy than me. So he thought, what is it that Radharani is experienced with? I am not able to. Krishna is the all-knower. You agreed? He is all-knowing. But he felt, I don't know what is the pleasure Radharani gets in loving me, in worshipping me. I don't know my own sweetness. When she realizes the sweetness and she becomes so ecstatic, I'm not able to understand. Can Krishna, who's all-knower, not understand this? Did he really not understand, or he was pretending?
He's not able to understand.
Then how is he all-knowing? I understand. All-knowing means he knows everything, right? So what is the reason he says like that?
His one particular thing is not able to understand. Maybe.
That means he is not all-knowing. He's everything knowing, but something he is not, right? There's always a pinprick at that. No. Krishna is all-knowing, but Krishna has given express intimation to Yogamaya that to assist in my pastimes, you can make me forget also so many things. Are you following? Like for example, during the Damodar Leela, when Mother Yashoda kept him down on the ground, he started crying. If he had been, he's all satisfied, Why should he cry? Because Yogamaya covers up Krishna also and makes him think that he is a child, not the Lord. If he thought himself to be the Lord, there won't be such wonderful pastimes, reciprocation. And when when Mother Yashoda saw the whole Brahmanda in Krishna's mouth, then he thought, Hare, if she knows that I am the Lord, my reciprocation of Leela, Rasa, will be stopped. So what he did, he told Yogamaya, he didn't tell at that time, he already had made all the plans. He told Yogamaya, cover up her memory. So she forgot that she saw the Brahmand inside Krishna's mouth, and she thought he's a small child. He has to drink milk from my body, and she thought like that. So similarly, Yogamaya covered up Krishna's mind. Because who is Radharani actually? Who's Radharani? It is said Krishna has got multifarious energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruvate Swabhaviki Jnana Valakriyacha. What is the meaning? Krishna has got multifarious energies. He's having multifarious Ananta energy, like Satyavak, Satya Sankalpa. What is Satya Sankalpa? Whatever he says is true. Satyavak means whatever he says is true. Even if it is not true, he makes it true. So these are all his energies. But all of them can be classified into broadly 3. What are they? Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. Antaranga Shakti. Antaranga means what? Anga means the body. Antar means inside. So the internal potency of the Lord. And Bahiranga Shakti is outside potency or external potency, which is Mahamaya. Internal potency, external potency, and Tatastha.
Borderline.
Tata. You know the word Tata? Ganga ke tat par, Yamuna ke tat par, marginal. Why are they called as Tatastha?
It can go either way.
Tatastha energy can be influenced by internal energy or the external energy. And we are the Tatastha. We mean not this body, but the spirit soul that we are part of. We are all part of Krishna. So all of us are energies of Krishna. And the Antaranga Shakti is again divided into 3. One is called Sandhini, second is Samvit, third is Ahladini. What is Sandhini? All the spiritual existence, Golok Vrindavan, the various paraphernalia which are required for performing pastimes are expansions of Balram. So that is Sandhini. Samvit is the knowledge potency, and Ahladini Shakti is called as the pleasure potency of the Lord. This personification of the pleasure potency of Krishna is Srimati Radharani. It is his own pleasure potency. How will he not know? Right? We know our innermost feelings. We all know, right? Others may not know. We may pretend. No, Prabhuji, I am very fallen. But in your heart you say, I may be a nice person. But in your heart of heart, but externally you pretend to be something. So Krishna knows everything. So how can he not know his own pleasure potency? He knows everything. But then to assist in the pastimes, Yogamaya covers up the mind of Krishna. So, and that pleasure potency who gives exclusive pleasure to Krishna is Srimati Radharani. Now, if you see Srimad Bhagavad Gita, there's no mention of Srimati Radharani, right? Have you ever seen any place where Radharani's name is mentioned? Not mentioned at all. So many people say, these are all just sentimental, there's nobody like Radharani. But the thing is, it's not like that. In fact, if you see Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing else but Srimati Radharani. I'll give you an example. Is ghee present in milk or not? But can you see ghee? So how you have to get the ghee? You have to boil the milk, add a special culture, then it becomes curd, then skim off the cream, and then you churn it, becomes butter, and you heat it, becomes clarified butter. That means ghee is there in the milk, but we don't see it. But it is actually milk is nothing but ghee, or ghee is nothing but milk, right? Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing else but Srimati Radharani. Now there's a reason why Shukadeva Goswami did not mention Srimati Radharani by her name. For this, we should know the history of Shukadeva Goswami. You all know the history of Shukadeva Goswami?
So we want to hear from you.
Shuka. What is the meaning of the word Shuka?
Right.
Yeah, you already know all this. Shuka means parrot. And he was the pet parrot of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And when they were about to terminate their pastimes in this world in Dwapar Yuga, they told Shuka, you should stay here, we are all going. And Shukadeva said, no, the parrot said, sorry, how can I live without you? They said, no, you have to propagate the process of devote service, especially in Kali Yuga. Everybody will be demoniac, they'll be quarrelsome, they'll be lazy, indolent. So you should be there to propagate this. So he was feeling very desolate. Then one day, because he was a pet parrot of Srimati Radharani, he always liked to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing else other than Radharani. So he wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So one day he saw Shiva speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam to his wife, Parvati Devi. And he told, I'll go on reciting. If you have any doubt, you should ask me. And if you say everything is fine, you should say yes or whatever you want to signal. And then what happened? First canto, second canto, third canto went on. And then Parvati somehow, again, these are all transcendental Leela. We should not think Parvati is an ordinary living entity like us. She fell asleep. But the parrot, Shuka, was there hearing this conversation between Shiva and Parvati, the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. And every time when Shiva said, did you understand? He said the parrot could what is the characteristic of a parrot? It can imitate people's voices. So exactly in the voice of Parvati, it said yes, yes, yes. And Shiva was deep in meditation. He didn't open his eyes to look. And he was going on speaking because he was immersed. Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu is the greatest of devotees. So he also was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam with so much of love and dedication, he didn't even realize. It is not possible that he didn't realize. Again, remember this. Shiva is also a very great personality. There Shiva is there, see? Very personality.
Just in time.
So then, after the whole Srimad Bhagavatam was over, Shiva opened his eyes and he sees Parvati sleeping. He said, Hare, who was the one who was saying yes, yes? And then he saw a parrot running away, flying away. He said, Hare, nobody who's not qualified should hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Anybody who hears Srimad Bhagavatam, they will be immortal. And a parrot, ordinary parrot like this, will become immortal, not proper. I should go and catch it and send it to a destination. These are all transcendental leelas. Huh? So the parrot was flying, Shiva running behind. It entered in the Himalayas in Vyas ashram, and there Vyasdev was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam to his wife, and in some context she opened her mouth and said, oh really, like this? Shukadeva Goswami entered into the mouth. Shuka, the parrot, entered in the mouth of the wife of Vyasdev, and there Shiva comes running and he says, Vyasdev ji, did you see a parrot coming here? He said, yeah, I saw, but he's already gone inside. Now what I can do? He said, I want to kill that parrot. He said, why? Because it heard. It's not authorized to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and it heard. Without even my permission, it heard. So Vyasdev asked Shiva, anybody who hears Srimad Bhagavatam become immortal? Shiva said, yes. So the parrot heard Srimad Bhagavatam from you, pure devotee. How can it be killed now? Forget it. So then Shiva, again a Leela. So Shiva said that okay, and he went back. So this Shuka is the one who's called as Shukadeva Goswami. And you know how many years he was in the womb of his mother? For 16 long years. He didn't want to come into this world. He said, Kali Yuga, it's so horrible. There'll be no study of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is gone. I don't feel like coming out at all. Then Krishna had to personally come and say, don't worry, come out, we will help you. And this Shukadeva Goswami, the moment he came out of his mother's womb at the age of 16 years, he started walking away. And again, there's a big story. Let's not go to the detail of that. And he comes to the bank of the river Ganges, where Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days' time by bite of Takshak because of a curse of Shringi, who is the son of Samik Rishi. You all must be knowing the story of that. So, so when Shringi had cursed Parikshit Maharaj, he immediately, imagine the greatness of Parikshit Maharaj, he gave up his kingdom in a moment's time. We all are so attached to all our wealth, right? For us, imagine if they say tomorrow, let us take for example, tomorrow we have saying that we are going to die tomorrow. You know what will be our consciousness? Let's be very honest. What will be our consciousness? We'll start, did I make a will or not? Did I bequeath all these property to this one? Has this property in my name? You remember all these things we'll talk. Where is all the lockers, keys there or not? My consciousness will never be concentrating on the Lord. But Parikshit Maharaj, he was the king of the entire world. Not having one small house in Stufil or in Mississauga or anything like that. Huh? He was the king of the entire world, the emperor of the whole world. And in a moment's notice, when he heard that he is being cursed to die in 7 days' time, he immediately gave up all those luxurious things and he came. That itself shows he was not attached to any of these. He used it in the service of the Lord. The moment he realized he has to give up, he gave it up without any concern. And he came to the bank of the river Ganges. And when such a person is there, Krishna again sends Shukadeva Goswami there, pure devotee. So Shukadeva Goswami came there. In fact, Parikshit Maharaj was asking so many people, now that I am going to die in 7 days' time, what is the duty of a man who is about to die? And he asked so many sages who were there. They said, we are not the right person to qualify to speak about this. And at that time, Shukadeva Goswami enters. He was literally covered only in the all four directions. His hair was unkempt. Dirt was there on the body. But then it is said, if a diamond is there, blackness of coal cannot cover up the beauty of a diamond. So Shukadeva Goswami, all the sages, they recognize that this person is a very, very great personality. Because it takes one to know one. They all realized that this is a very wonderful personality. So they told Parikshit Maharaj, you please approach Shukadeva Goswami. So they approached Parikshit Maharaj approached Shukadeva Goswami and he said, I am about to leave my body in 7 days' time. What is the duty of a man who is going to leave his body in 7 days' time? And Shukadeva Goswami taught Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And because he was a pet parrot of Srimati Radharani, if he mentions the name of Radha, he would go into ecstasy. And if he goes into ecstasy, what will happen? He will not be able to speak the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj would not be able to hear the whole Srimad Bhagavatam in 7 days' time, and that's why he curtailed his ecstasy. He didn't speak the name of Radha. But as I told you, Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing else but Srimati Radharani. And of course, he has mentioned in the Rasa Pancha Adhyay, that is the 29th chapter to the 33rd chapter, where Ras Leela is going on. Indirectly, Shukadeva Goswami has talked about Srimati Radharani. Anya Aradhito Nunam. So he says that gopi who is the most greatest worshipper of Krishna is this gopi. And who is, let us understand the gopis. The gopis are considered to be the greatest of devotees. You know why? Because they had no material conception at all. They loved Krishna only for the pleasure of Krishna. And Krishna wanted to show to the whole world the greatness of gopis. And the topmost of gopi is Srimati Radharani. So one day he told to Narad Muni, I'm having a headache. Now Narad Muni was thinking, how can Krishna have a headache, by the way?
No.
Can he have or can he not have?
Be part of Maya. Leela.
Huh?
Could be a Leela.
So he is having the headache or not?
He is pretending to have headache.
No, we should not use that word.
Okay, he's
So, is he
Leela.
having a headache or not? He has. If we say he doesn't have a headache, that means there's something which Krishna cannot have. We all have headache, but Krishna cannot have. It's not possible. So Krishna really had a headache, and he told Narad Muni, the treatment of this headache is what?
To get the dust from the feet of one of his devotees.
Of devotees. So Narad Muni was thinking, who will give the dust? So he went to so many devotees, and he said, Krishna is having a severe headache, and the treatment for this, he said, is dust from your feet. So all the devotees, how can we give? Will you all give? If Krishna has a headache, somebody comes and tells you, Krishna is having a headache, please, we want dust from your feet. Will you give? Will you give or no?
Yes.
You'll give? Okay, if I tell you, sorry, please, I should not say that. If I tell you, please put your leg on the deities, will you do it?
That we don't know.
So what's the difference between giving dust to Krishna and putting a leg on that? Any difference?
He's having a headache.
No, I'm just saying. But the thing is, it is the same thing. Putting the dust of your feet on Krishna, it is unheard of. That is why, actually speaking, we are not worshipping Radha Krishna. Do you know that? You think we are worshipping Radha Krishna? Who are we worshipping? Huh? No, we are worshipping, if at all we worship, it's only Lakshmi Narayan. Though it is Krishna and Radha, we are worshipping only Lakshmi Narayan. Why? Because that Lakshmi Narayan worship is with awe and reverence. Worship of Krishna is not with awe and reverence. Real worship of Krishna. It is said awe and reverence is a what you call adulterated thing in the kheer of pure devotion. Did you understand what I'm saying? Krishna does not like awe and reverence. He wants intensified rasa. So when all the devotees said, we cannot give, so he comes back to Krishna and said, nobody is willing to give. Really, nobody? Have you gone to the gopis? He said, no, I didn't go because I saw all devotees. I went to Uddhav, I went to Yudhishthira, I went to Pandavas, I went to so many devotees. Nobody was willing to give the food dust. So go to gopis. So the Narad Muni went to the gopis and he told gopis, Krishna is having a tremendous headache and he is suffering. And also, oh, really, my Krishna is suffering? They were suffering because hearing that Krishna was having the headache. And they said, but Krishna has given us, he said the solution is what? He wants dust from your feet. They never even hesitated for a moment. What they said, really? Krishna is having the headache and the treatment is the dust from our feet? They didn't say little dust, they said take tons of dust. Take tons of dust. So Narad Muni said, don't you know that you will go to hell? You will go to hell for giving your dust to Krishna? So what the gopis said, very, very important. What did they say? We don't mind going to hell for eternity, for eternity, if it were to cure Krishna's headache for even one moment. Are you understanding? See the greatness of their love. That means what? They were not living in their bodies at all. They never bothered about material pain or pleasures at all. Their whole life was only for the existence, for the pleasure of Krishna. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am not a Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. What am I? Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamalayo Das, Anudas. I am just a servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis. So, and the topmost of all these gopis is Srimati Radharani. All the gopis are giving tremendous pleasure to Krishna. Why? Because of that Ahladini potency. Without that potency of Radharani, even the gopis could not do all these things. Are you following? Who are the gopis? The gopis are all expansions of Srimati Radharani. The Lakshmis, the queens, and the gopis are all expansions of Srimati Radharani. They are all assistants to Srimati Radharani. Without Radharani's mercy, the gopis could not have done this. That means, you know how glorious is the position of Srimati Radharani. And imagine in our life also, whatever amount of devotion we have, if at all we have, what is it? That Adav Shraddha, you know the words Adav Shraddha Sadhu Sangha? Right? Adav Shraddha Sadhu Sangha, Tata Bhajana Kriya, Tata Nishtha, Tata Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav and Prem. This Adav Shraddha, what is it? Initial faith. You know what is this initial faith? It's nothing else but Srimati Radharani's mercy. The personification of pure devotion is Srimati Radharani, and a drop of that is whatever we have in our heart, which gradually, when we go on by the process of devotion and by the mercy of Srimati Radharani, we cultivate that little faith becomes into what? Firm faith. Firm faith is what? Nishtha. And then it becomes complete faith in the form of Krishna Prema. And the personification of Krishna Prema is Srimati Radharani. So whatever we owe today, whatever we are, even if we think we are at least something, it is only because of Srimati Radharani. Without her mercy, we would not be even able to chant Krishna's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The meaning of that Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna is what? Hare is, O energy of the Lord, Srimati Radharani. Help me in the worship of your worshipful master, Krishna. This is the meaning of the prayer. So we are actually petitioning Srimati Radharani's mercy. We are thinking we are chanting Krishna's name. Actually, yes, we are chanting, but actually we are praying to Srimati Radharani. So you understand, whatever advancement we have got is only because of Radharani's mercy. You know, when in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna did not give Krishna Prem to anybody. He didn't give pure devotion service to anybody. He said what? Sarvadharmam parityagya mamekam sharan bhaja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishaya masuja. What's the meaning of this verse? Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me.
Condition.
Huh?
He made a condition.
Surrender to me. And do you know what is surrender? In the scriptures, what is surrender? You know, there is a wonderful verse to describe surrender. What is it? Anybody can tell me? Anukulyasya sankalpo patikulyasya varjanam rakshashiti vishwase gopatipta varnamata atmavikshepana itsad viddhi sharanagati. What is the 6 characteristics of surrender? Anukulyasya sankalpa. What is the meaning of sankalpa? Take a vow. We say, if we have all those who are South Indians here, anybody is there, who are Brahmanas here, we say, if we put a hand like this, Mahupad Samatta, Durjat Chaydwara, Sri Parameshwara, or Shri Narayana Prityartham, this sankalpa we say. So it's an Anukulyasya sankalpa. What is the sankalpa of a devotee? Who are aspiring to be on the path of devotion. How do I attain pure devotion service? So Anukulyasya sankalpa, that which is favorable for that sankalpa, one should do. Anukulyas, that which is favorable for our sankalpa, we should perform. Pratikulyasya varjanam, one should reject that which is not favorable. So what are the 6 things in Nectar of Instruction? It is there. What are the 6 things favorable for devotion? Utsaha nischaya dhairya tat tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga sato bhute shadbir bhaktir prasidhyati. Right? Are you all with me?
Yes.
And pratikulyasya varjanam is what? What are the 6 things which are against devotion? Atyahara prayasya cha prajalpo nimagraha janasangasya laulyam cha shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. So one should, we will not go to the details of these things. So what I want to tell is, Krishna said, first surrender to me. Surrender means this. And third, avashya Krishna rakshibeti vishwase. Rakshishiti vishwase means what? Krishna will definitely protect. We should have this firm faith. We have a little bit faith, but we always try to do everything on our own. That is our ego which makes us think Krishna cannot do. I have to do myself also. And the next principle of surrender is what? To be completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Whatever situation He puts you in, He makes you a very rich man or a poor man. Like how Prahlad was completely dependent. He said, he never said, I'm chanting Narayana's name. Why is my father? Imagine a 5-year-old child. What is his consciousness? But he was completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And then the fifth characteristic is what? I'm just reciting to you this. Why? Because Krishna said you have to do all these things. The fifth principle is what? To have no desire separate from that of the Lord. What is the desire of the Lord? Can you know the desire of the Lord? The desire of the Lord is not to enjoy pastimes to gopis. We think like that. The desire of the Lord is only how do I reclaim these fallen souls who are in this world to come back. So to have no desire separate from that of the Lord means what? Preaching is the essence. Preach by our own behavior, by our own actions, and by our words. Kayana vacha manasendriyatva. We have to do everything for the pleasure of the Lord, to satisfy the desire of the Lord. And when you attain all these 5 things, what happens to you? You say, I'm really a great person. We feel like that, right? Automatically we feel that. So the 6th characteristic of surrender is what? To be meek and humble. Whatever is happening is all Krishna's mercy. I have no qualification whatsoever. This is the meaning of surrender. So Krishna said, first attain this, then I'll liberate you from all sinful reaction, and then the seed of devout service will be given to you. But as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the character of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He said, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurat Vishe Namaha. What is the meaning of this? That he is so magnanimous. What is the meaning of magnanimity? He is drunk with devotion, with the alcohol of devotion. I should not compare this with the alcohol, it's very mundane. But he was so drunk with devotion. Anybody who just comes in front of him, he gives Krishna Prema. How can that Krishna in Dwapar Yuga not give Krishna Prema? And here, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how can he give Krishna Prema? It's contradiction, right? Why?
I think this Kali Yuga, more people are fallen.
Because the heart of his Radharani.
Yeah.
This is the thing, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I didn't tell you the reasons, the internal reason. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what is it about me that Radharani enjoys so much? What is the nature of the love of Srimati Radharani for me? And what is the happiness that she derives? So he says, I should come in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Radharani's mood is what? To just give. You just ask something, she gives you much more. We say, देने वाला जब भी देता छप्पर फाड़ के देता, तुम 1 पैसा दोगे वो 10 लाख देगा, we say, So Srimati Radharani is literally this. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And who Srimati Radharani is? None other than pure devotion. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna comes with pure devotion, he is intoxicated because he is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And he was experiencing the happiness which Radharani was experiencing in loving him. And so, because the nature of Radharani to give, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave in abundance. Namo Mahavadanyaya. He is very, very Vadanya. Mahavadanya, Krishna Prema Padayate. He was giving Krishna Prema to everyone. Patra na deke stana stan. He never saw what the qualification of this. Like imagine if you were to go to an exam. Are you all okay?
Yes, yes.
If you had to go for an exam and you say you have to study hard and then you will pass, but somebody says, just come and sit and write your roll number, you will pass. Have you ever heard like that?
Sapne mein.
Huh? So, it's not possible at all. But here it is the same thing. All that you have to do is say, I accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is all. Just a little bit of faith. There's a song of Nityananda Prabhu. What is that? Shraddhavan Janahe. You heard of this bird? Shraddhavan Janahe, Shraddhavan Janahe, Nadiya Godume Nityananda Mahajan. He said all you have to have is little bit faith. With little bit of faith, you can purchase the Lord and the pleasure potency, Srimati Radharani. Anyway, so this is all we heard about Srimati Radharani, how wonderful she is. Now we should know in short, I know time is of the essence, we have to tell about the appearance of Srimati Radharani actually. I'll tell in short whatever it is. You all want to hear? Is it okay?
No, you already created the platform. Now the essence.
Yeah. So this is the when this see you have to create the farmer. What does he do? He doesn't put seed directly like that. What does he do? He tills the ground, puts some nice fertilizers, and then when the seed puts there a little bit of water, it germinates. So now the seed is what? The appearance of Srimati Radharani. What I have created till now is how the greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has come in the mood of Radharani. So, in short, I will tell you, there was a mountain Vindhyachal, which is there in Maharashtra. It was thinking, my brother Himavan, he's having a wonderful daughter, Parvati, and the Parvati's husband is going to be Shiva. I also want to have. He was not envious, he was not envious. He also said, I also want to have a daughter, and I want the husband of the daughter to be more greater than Shiva. So he was telling all the sages, can you please perform a yajna? I want this daughter who is going to be so glorious that he's going to be the husband of that girl is going to be greater than even Shiva. So they performed the yajna. In short, in the yajna, two wonderful children were created. Not created, they appeared. Who are they? It was Srimati Radharani and Chandravali. Who Chandravali, do you know? There also they have competition. Huh? There's a left wing gopis, right wing gopis. Huh? And they all are in, like how we have left wing in politics. They also have difference of opinion how to serve Krishna. Anyway, let's not go into the details of that. So, and you can imagine Kamsa in Mathura, he heard this, that he's having two daughters and the husband of that is going to be greater than Shiva. Now I want to marry them. This is the nature of Asuras. They said, I want to be greater than Shiva. I can defeat Shiva, so I should get married. So he tells, in fact, he had already conquered. This was beginning, before. So he had already vanquished all the Rakshasis, and the last one was Putana. So he told Putana, you are my servant now, will you do this favor? Go and collect these two children and give them to me. I'll wait for them to be grown up, then I'll marry them, so I'll become more powerful than Lord Shiva also. So Putana, because she was vanquished by Kamsa, she said yes, and she comes to Vindhya mountains, and there she started taking these two children out. And Vindhya, imagine, we all will be thinking it's all superstition. How can mountain want to have a, is it possible, mountain wanting to have a child?
They're living in.
Do you know Parvati is the daughter of, I told you, Himachal, of Himalayas, right? Himavan he was called as, right?
Shailputri.
Huh?
Shailputri. Shailputri.
I mean, I don't know. So imagine, everything are living entities. They have come to assist in the pastimes of the Lord. So anyway, so Vindhyachal mountain told the sages, please perform a yajna and reduce the power of this Putana. So they created a yajna by which Putana was feeling very, very hot. And she was flying towards Uttar Pradesh, Mathura. And on the way in between, it became so hot for her, she could not carry both the children, so she threw one child. She threw Chandravali. Where did the child land? Into Kaundinapur. Into Bhishmaka. Who is Bhishmaka, do you know? The father of Rukmini, you don't know Kaundinapur, Rukmini? And so for 5 years, anyway, so Chandravali was put there, and then, we're not talking about Chandravali, so we're talking about Radharani. So the other child she carried up till, what is the place? Raval. Raval is the birthplace of Srimati Radharani. And there it was so hot for her, she dropped that child also. And because it was Srimati Radharani, she had a glowing effulgence. And to support her fall, there was a 1,000-petal lotus. And it caught the child in its petals. And the lotus started glowing. What you associate with, you become, right? Jaisa sang vaisa rang. So the lotus started glowing. And in the early morning at 4:30, Prishibhanu, the so-called father of Radharani, was doing his morning prayers, and he sees in Yamuna, he sees the beautiful 1,000-petal lotus. He said, what is this? He was so attracted. And he comes there, And then he sees this beautiful child inside the whirl of the lotus. And he thought, what is this happening? At that time, to cut the story short, Narad Muni comes and tells, this is a child which you should take care of. And the child was so well formed, every part of the limbs were so well formed. But then there was one, Rishibhanu was seeing that the child is not crying at all. The child is not able to hear anything. The child is not able to see anything. He said, I didn't, and he was childless. He was very happy he got a child, but he was unhappy that the child could not do any of these things which special senses we all are interested. We all know, we always do that, see the child is seeing or not. And so he was very depressed. At that time, Narad Muni tells him, don't worry, please announce to the whole world that you got a child and invite everybody, and especially please invite from Gokul, Vrindavan, Nandagaon. I mean, not Nandagaon, it was at that time in Gokul. That please invite Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and their children, Rohini and Krishna and Balram, and call them. So they had a big function, and then again, I'm just trying, it's a big, wonderful story actually. So they invited, Krishna comes to the palace of Vrishabhanu, and then plainly enters, he was crawling, he was a small child also, he was crawling into the room of Radharani. Until that time she had not opened her eyes, she had not made a sound, she could not hear, she was like this, deaf and mute and blind. Imagine the child is having that. But she was so beautiful. So Krishna goes there and he just touches the what do you call that, the palan is the cradle of the child. And the moment Krishna touches, and before that some people say when she just smelled the aroma of Krishna coming into the room, she immediately opened her eyes and started crying. So that means what? Srimati Radharani's appearance is only for the pleasure of the Lord. In fact, when they were leaving Golok Vrindavan, Krishna said, again this is a different story by itself. Krishna said, I'm going to leave Golok Vrindavan. Radharani fainted. She said, why are you fainting? You're going to leave me and go. He said, no, I never said I'm going to leave you. I'll take you along with me. He said, I don't want to go. But anyway, somehow they convinced her to come. But he said, I don't want to see any male other than you when I'm born. So to fulfill that, this child, moment when Krishna appeared, or the aroma of Krishna entered the room, she started coming back into this. And Vrishabhanu was feeling so happy. Anyway, the other child who was in Bhishma accounted to Chandravali. Chandravali is the head of the rival gopis. Radharani is the head of the Ashtasakis and other gopis. And you know how many gopis were there? It is said infinite gopis were there. And Chandravali was brought up by Bhishma for 5 years. And Purnamasi is the personification of Yogamaya in Vrindavan. She goes to Kaundinyapur and tells Bhishma, can you please give this child? And Bhishma gave that child. This is all before Rukmini was born and all. And he gave the child. She gets him to the brother of Vrishabhanu. What is his name? Forgetting it. Some Banu. Anyway, so he gives it to her. And then he brings her up. And that is Chandravali. So Chandravali and Radharani are the topmost gopis. And amongst two of them, Radharani is the topmost. So it is said on Radhashtami day, we have to perform what is called as Radhashtami Vrata. You know what is Radhashtami Vrata? We have to fast from water also till 12 o'clock in the night. For us, Kali Yuga, it is very easy actually. But the Vrata, till 12 o'clock, you're not supposed to eat anything or drink anything. And you're supposed to hear the pastimes of the Lord. Hear about the birth of the Lord. Worship Srimati Radharani, worship, put wonderful flowers on her, and chant our Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So we all did, though it's not Radhashtami, still the day on which we celebrate is Radhashtami. He said, that's why he said, the most auspicious day is today. Because this is present. Past is history, future is mystery, present is the secret of victory. We always say, live in the present. So for us, this is the most auspicious day. And we did Radhashtami Vrata. What did we do? We heard the pastimes of the Lord. We heard the appearance of the Lord. We are worshipping the Lord, and we chanted at least 2 times.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So we owe our entire, whatever advancement we have done in Krishna consciousness is only by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. And where have we got it from? From Guru. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavanji Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. What is this Bhakti Lata Beej? It's Srimati Radharani. Are you realizing this? Because Bhakti, shall I tell you one last thing, then we put in an end to this. The characteristics of pure devotional service. You heard of that in Nectar of Devotion? There are 6 characters of pure devotional service. Anybody can tell me what are those 6 characteristics? Anybody, Prabhu? Kleshagni Nivritti. You heard of this? Klesha Agni, the fire of the Kleshas, Nivritti. Shubhada. Shubhada means all auspiciousness. It bestows all auspiciousness. It is rarely achieved. Moksha Glabhita, it derides even the pleasure of liberation. Then Sandrananda Visheshatma, it gives intense pleasure. And the last thing I wanted to tell you this, it's Krishna Akarshanicha. Pure devotion service has the potency to attract even Krishna. Imagine, there's a big magnet and we are all like the iron filings. What happens to the iron filings when the magnet is there? We get attracted to the magnet. But it is said, when you attain pure devotion service, the iron filings are so small, the magnet comes towards the iron filings. Have you heard of this? Have you ever seen like that? Krishna is the supreme magnet. We are like the iron filings. We are attracted, but when we attain the supreme mercy of the Lord, of Srimati Radharani, which is Krishna Prema, Krishna Akarshanaja means what? It attracts even that magnet. And that is Srimati Radharani. So entire Srimad Bhagavatam is pure devotion. Dharma projita kaitavota nirmat charanam satam. What is it? It kicks out cheating religion. What is cheating religion? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. It's only teaching us what is pure devotion. Because pure devotion is the only thing which can conquer Krishna. Because it is Krishna Akarshancha. So whatever we have got is Srimati Radharani's mercy. So it is, we have to be so thankful to Guru and Gauranga for implanting that seed in our heart. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavanji. We have been roaming around in so many Brahmanda. Not this Brahmanda. Many Brahmanda, many times in so many different births. Kona Bhagyavanji. Very, very few living entities. Bhagyavan means what? Full of fortune. And what do they get? Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. Prasad means the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Now, they are fortunate, that's why they are getting Guru Krishna's Prasad, or because they got Guru Krishna Prasad, they are fortunate. What is the answer? Did you understand the question? Are they fortunate because they got Guru Krishna Prasad, or because they are fortunate they got Guru Krishna Prasad? They are 2 different things.
They are fortunate, that's all they are able to Guru and Krishna.
No.
It's opposite.
It's the opposite. Because they got Guru Krishna Prasad, they are fortunate. If suppose, I'll say why it is not the other way around. If fortune is going to get us Krishna Bhakti, that means fortune is greater than Krishna Bhakti. It's the mother of Bhakti. It cannot be. Bhakti is independent. Who is going to get, we don't know. It is not that somebody who is in the mode of goodness will get Bhakti. Somebody in the mode of ignorance. Like Jagai Madai, they got pure love. What was their qualification? Were they fortunate? And that's why they got Bhakti. They were fortunate because they got Bhakti. Did you understand you all know the story of Jagai Madai, right?
Yeah.
They were not qualified at all. They had no fortune whatsoever. But they got the supreme love of Krishna. So what is that? So why they got the mercy? They are fortunate because they got the mercy, or because they are fortunate they got the mercy? So we should realize, somehow or the other, we are all absolutely fallen. There's no chance that we ever attain this. Somehow. That's why we call it causeless mercy. You know what's the meaning of the word causeless mercy?
They're not qualified.
Unconditional.
Causeless means there's no cause for that mercy. If our good fortune is the cause of that mercy, then it's not causeless. Why? Because good fortune is the cause of this mercy. But we say causeless mercy, that means it's not good fortune. It is not mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance. It's not that mode of ignorance will attract. Nothing is going to attract the Lord, only pure devotion, Srimati Radharani. And that somehow or the other, it has been implanted in our heart. So something which is so rare. What should be our, should we safeguard that which is so rare, which has been given to us, that gift of the little bit faith which leads to Krishna Prema? We should store it nicely and lock it in the innermost recesses of our heart. And value it so much. And realize this fire which has been given to us, let us make it into a big fire, enveloping our whole consciousness and the whole of Stouffville, whole of Canada and the whole world. This should be our attitude.
Haribo.
This is what Srila Prabhupada, he emulated all these. What did he say? Preaching, books are the basis. Preaching is the essence. Purity is the force. I don't want to go into the details of that. And utility is the principle. These four principles, we all should imbibe it and try to spread this to the whole world. Not by our words, but by our behavior. And when you realize what a great fortune we have received, we are not qualified at all. Thank you, Krishna, for giving us this. I will do whatever I can to please you. This is the mood of Srimati Radharani. And on this day, let's take a pledge that I will try to follow in the mood of Srimati Radharani, wanting to please Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know that there was he has written only 8 verses. What are those called as? The Sikshashtakam. What are the last words? Aslishya padaratam pinastuma madarsanan marmahatam karotuva yata tata va vidadatu lampato mat prananatastu sayonapara. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has written the mood of Srimati Radharani. What is she saying? Aslishya padaratam. Any gopi who comes and bows down to you, Krishna, and you hug her, I don't mind. I'm very happy because that she's going to give you pleasure. I will send her to you willingly. Can you imagine somebody like this? Adarshana, you can make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. But in all state of consciousness, you are my worshipable Lord. So this should be our attitude. Krishna, or Radharani, whether you give me devotion, whether you understand all these things, somehow I will do my level best to increase it for your pleasure. We should not become devotees to get liberation. We should not become devotees to remove ourselves of all material problems, but only for the pleasure of Krishna. Ahetuki apratyata. Unconditional, unmotivated, uninterrupted. So on this day, whatever prayers, whatever vows we take, Radharani listens, Krishna listens. So on this day, we say, Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmani shari bhavatat bhakta ahetuki tvai. Okay, so with this, I think, I'm sorry, I went on for a long time. Thank you so much. On this day of Radhashtami, I feel myself fortunate that I could speak some few words in the glorification of the process of devotional service and Srimati Radharani, and for the pleasure of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. I don't know what we can